So I just wanted to make a very quick, comments on the DFB Pokal Cup. Because look, here it is. Because I think this is an interesting victory. At the beginning of the season, I said Dortmund would win the league. I just believe that this was their season. Ancelotti coming in, perhaps new manager, new coach, quite a massive departure from what Guardiola was doing. And what you saw in that game, in that Dortmund game was in this game is that what could have been this season, because Dortmund have been bitterly disappointing this season. Very disappointing, because I thought that they would do a lot better. I mean, what's Hoffenheim, Leipzig? Are you kidding me? But in this game, you just saw what could have been. Because when Dortmund are on it, all the players are fit, of course, when they're on it, they're a fantastic team. Like that goal from Dembele, that's a ridiculous G. That's a ridiculous G. And you look at Bayern, and you say, is it Ancelotti's fault? Is it the players? Why is Ribery still playing at his age? Why is Ribery still starting football games at his age? I mean, he's useful. He's a squad player, but at his age, he shouldn't be starting games. Sorry, that's just me. But I do believe that it's the same things that I've been saying before, even during Guardiola's era. But to begin with, I think because Guardiola was such a micromanager and Ancelotti's tactics are such a massive departure from them, this was always going to happen. It was always going to take at least a season for these Bayern players to really fully grasp what Ancelotti is trying to get towards them. And again, for Ancelotti, maybe he actually needs to bring in his own kinds of players so they can actually really be building his own team. Because again, Bart Simpson is gone, Alonso is gone, so players need to be replaced. Ribery, does he really have another season in him? How much does Robin have? There's still the Lewandowski issue. You're still not getting the best out of Lewandowski. I tell you right now, you put Lewandowski in that Dortmund team, you just see how much of a stupendous, amazing player that he is. He's still not being used properly by Bayern Munich. So this is what's going to happen. This is still a transitional period. But for Dortmund, when they get it right, when they really play to their high level in that exciting, free-running, high fitness, high energy way, they're a superb team. And this is the kind of team that I said would win the Bundesliga. So it disappoints me that they didn't really put forth a proper title challenge. It's unfortunate because they could have, and I believe that they could have won the league. But Bayern Munich, they just got it done. They got it done because I think Ancelotti had a shaky start, but he had a nice little period where they were really clicking and they were really really on it. But now they're falling back into a bit of a slump. And you say to yourself that, where do we go from here? What happens? I just think that this is still Guardiola's team who are still playing under Guardiola's psychology. In my view, does Ancelotti really want Thiago as a central midfielder? Does Ancelotti really want Ribery as his winger? These are the main things. I believe that Ancelotti really wants to give Lewandowski a proper second striker, who he doesn't see that being Muller. So these are all changes and all anticipations that need to be made. And as for Dortmund, I think for Dortmund, this is again, I believe that this was a huge psychological victory for them. Yes, don't people over the cracks. Defenders need to be bought. There needs to be the defenders. There needs to be a higher quality. There needs to be a defensive midfielder like an N'Golo Kante to give them some solidity. And perhaps another. No. Attacking was they're fine. They're popular. Maybe just need to perfect their creativity, but they definitely need like a Vidal. They need some strength and some solidity in their team. But if they have that, I want Dortmund to kick on for next season. But I think this was important because this reminded Dortmund that, hey, wait a minute, maybe the gap isn't so far between us and Bayern. Yeah, we got pimp slapped in the league. But we do show that, when we play them and when we get it right, the key thing, when we get it right, tactically, psychologically, mentally, and physically, we can beat them. We can take them on. We can give them a game and we can be superior to them. So that's the thing. It's all about changes for next season, changes for Bayern and changes for Dortmund so we can hopefully get a much more closer title race against two great teams. Ancelotti, give him time. Tuchel, buy some defenders, please.